And hello, we're going to turn all this into chicken tikka masala. Now, I'm a big fan of Indian food, and my two favourite dishes in Indian food is chicken tikka masala and lamb rogan josh. But tonight we're going to do the chicken tikka masala. So basically you can see this is all the ingredients in it. It's mainly a lot of spices and things like that. I'll just quickly go through it. So we've got turmeric, garam masala. Now this, you just buy this from the shopping centre, the supermarket, wherever you go. This is in every single Indian dish you'll ever make probably in your whole life, right? It's a Indian mix. It's a mix of different spices. Garam masala, essential. Cumin, again, that's another one that's really common in Indian curries. Coriander leaves or coriander powder, that's fine. Cardamom, you only a pinch of this stuff, okay? It's not really hot, but it gives it flavour. Same with the chili flakes we're going to put in later. And this one's optional, which is cayenne pepper. I just put an absolute pinch in. If you want it hotter, you put more in. If you don't like it really, burn your ass out hot, well, a pinch is fine. And one of my favourites that I just put in absolutely everything, paprika, but this time I'm using smoked paprika. Normally in my other dishes that you see me do, I just use normal paprika. This one I prefer to use smoked paprika, okay? So that's the spice, and salt and pepper of course, just normal salt and pepper. Now we're also going to add onions, garlic, some ginger. I just use the minced ginger. If I was going to do this for a dinner party, I'd go to the effort of getting fresh ginger and I'd slice it and mince it. But since it's just me tonight, that's fine. Tomato paste, I love these little satchels. They come in a box of 4 and there's 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. I use them for a lot of stuff. Onions. That's a lime that I'm going to garnish it with off my own tree. That's why I've got it. Coriander. In America they call it cilantro, I think, but coriander is pretty essential for this dish. Our rice, I buy rice in bulk and then I put it into an old coffee jar like this to make it easier to get to. Some vegetable oil. Now this is where I'm going to differ. The traditional chicken tikka masala, which by the way was invented in an Indian restaurant in London, not India, but anyway, normally they would use thickened cream, okay, but just tonight, I've never done this before, so just for tonight I'm going to try some coconut cream. I just think mixed with the coriander and the lime in particular, in Thai cooking it's really common, so I like the flavours. So tonight I'm experimenting. But if you want to do this traditionally, use thickened cream. And some crushed tomatoes, diced tomatoes and chicken stock. Normally I make my own chicken stock, but this stuff was on sale, so it was too good to pass up. So that's what I'm doing. Anyway, what I've done, traditionally they would use chicken breasts. I find the chicken breast dry out, so I go for chicken thighs. I don't know if you can see here, but chicken thighs have a lot more fatty bits on it that render down during the cooking process. Just gives it a stronger, nicer chickeny flavour, That's again a preference of mine. If you want to do this traditionally, then use chicken breast, cut it up, but I'm going to do it with chicken thighs. Now to speed things up, I've already mixed all my spices up in advance. And you should do that too, because now what we're going to do is put our chicken in there to mix them. We're going to coat the chicken in the spices. So just throw the whole lot in. Now, the other thing I do at this point is this is where I use the vegetable oil. All I'm going to do is just drizzle it on very lightly. And I'm purely doing this so the spices have something to stick to. Okay, that's all. And then just get in there with your hands and mix it up. Now, because chicken thighs tend to have a lot of nooks and crannies and things compared to a chicken breast, you really got to give it a good mix, okay? So really you know, take your time, coat everything. Let's speed this bit up. And back to normal. Just going to wash my hands. Rightio, so I've mixed all that up. Smelling wonderful. Sorry, just a bit for the dog. Don't know if you can see that, but I've just coated it, completely coated everything with, you know, the chicken with, whoops, all those spices and things, right? So that's that. Now, if you wanted to do this in advance, which I highly recommend, getting to this stage, put some plastic wrap on it and put it in the fridge. If you did it overnight, awesome. Otherwise, 2 hours beforehand is equally, it's pretty good. But for brevity, because I knew I was recording, I'm not going to, right? You don't have to, you don't have to. All it does, by leaving it, you know, wrapped up, it enhances the flavours. It gives it a much stronger flavour, better, I think. But, you know, for tonight, I'm just going to bung it straight in like that. So what I'm going to cook it in is ghee. G-H-E-E. Ghee. All that is what we call clarified butter. It's really common in Indian cooking. That's what they use. They don't use vegetable oil, they use ghee. It's just clarified butter, and this is just normal butter, and I microwaved it, and you get these little white dags on top. I just use a spoon and scoop them off. All we want is the nice golden colour, okay, down there. So that's what we're going to cook it in. So we've gone as far as we can at this camera angle. Now I'm going to move the camera over to the hot plate, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so here we are at the hot plate. I've been heating up the butter in the pan. While I was doing that, I was chopping up my onions and garlic and stuff. Okay, so now we're ready to do our chicken. Now I'm going to do this in 2 batches. The one mistake a lot of people like to do is cram as much as they can into a pan, and when you do that, it's not going to cook evenly. It's not going to cook properly. So take your time. 4 bits in that size pan is fine. So all we're doing at this point is all those spices and things we put on there, they're toasting. They're literally toasting in that clarified butter. So yeah, we're just going to let that cook. Speed up. Okay, and back to real time. So I've been doing these for about 4 or 5 minutes each side, because all we're really trying to do is cook off that the spices and things and just get them nice and toasty. So we're not cooking the chicken all the way through. It doesn't matter if it's not cooked completely through at this stage, because later we're going to simmer it in the sauce. Okay, so it's going to finish off cooking in the sauce. So this is really just to brown it and get it nice and toasty and things like that. So that piece there is a bit bigger than the others. It could probably do 5 minutes. Anyway, so this is more or less the first batch done. I'm not going to make you sit through the second batch. We'll pause it for now and I'll come back when that's finished. Okay? Okay, so I've just finished the second batch. Cooked to what I want, as you can see. So what I've done is I've transferred them just into another bowl. We're going to let them cool down a bit because we've got to cut them up later. Okay. So they're done, they're fine. Get really gagged out. Now what I want to do, I have that on a fairly high heat because I wanted to sear it, right? So I'm just going to turn this down. My thing, I'm turning it from 8 down to 6, so I don't know what that is on yours. And I'll even take it off the heat just to let the pan cool down a little bit. Because what we're going to do now is our onion, garlic, all that sort of stuff. So you really don't want to burn the crap out of that. So while that's cooling down, let's pause. Okay, so it's cooled down. You can see how I've cut my onion. Just really roughly. I actually feel like I want another onion in there, to be honest. And that's what I'm going to do. And done. So as you can see, our onions are getting that beautiful herbs and spices on them. So we want to cook this until it goes translucent, the usual deal whenever we're cooking onion. So this is going to take about 5 minutes or so. So let's speed it up. Okay, so I've had these onions going for about 5 minutes. So now the next stage is to add my tomato paste. And really, the whole thing with chicken tikka masala is the tomato. That's really what gives it its flavour and stuff like that. That's what it's known for. Similar to, I think, with Rogan Josh. That's sort of a very tomatoey based dish as well. So anyway. I'm just going to blend that in, and I'm going to cook this again for about another 5 minutes or so because I really want this tomato and onion to caramelise together. That's what I'm attempting to do here, okay? So, speed it up. Okay, so that's looking really good, and if you think it looks good, my God, you should smell it. It is amazing. That's why I like cooking Indian food and Thai food and stuff like that. The aroma's always really nice. So now we're just going to add in I've just got the garlic and ginger in here together, just for ease. So same deal, just going to let them cook for probably 5 minutes or so. Wow, that really smells good with that ginger. Okay, we'll come back. Okay, so I've given that garlic and ginger about 3 minutes or so. It's really coming together wonderfully, it smells awesome. So this is the base of our sauce. So now we're going to add the liquids elements. So I'm going to start with the tinned tomatoes, crushed tomatoes. Get them in there, stir it all up. So next is our coconut milk, coconut cream milk, whatever you want to call it. So again, I just mentioned that this is an experiment I'm doing. I haven't done this before. I mean, it looks similar to normal cream. It's going to taste a lot different. So, well, it's actually a bit lighter than normal. Cream doesn't go that light, but that's okay. I don't mind that. Alright. So I've got that stirred in, and now we're going to add the chicken stock, which is 1 cup, which I've measured out. There we go. So that's essentially our base, and I'm going to let that simmer for about 15 minutes, I reckon. I want it to heat up, and I want it to thicken a bit. And I want that red colour. As you can see, it's starting to get a little bit more red now, which is awesome. That's what I wanted. Because that's what, you know, traditional chicken tikka looks like. Okay, so that's that. What would you rather, watch paint drying or watch a sauce come to temperature? I reckon none. So I'm going to pause you guys here, and I'm going to let that come up to temp. Okay. Okay, so I should have mentioned too, the sauce is over there, it's simmering. I've turned it right down low because I just want it to come up to a very slow boil. Just when it just starts to boil and bubble, that's the temperature I want it at. While it's doing that, we're now going to cut up our chicken that's cooled down a lot. And I must admit, before I tried a little bit, you know, a little bit that sort of fell off, and it is marvellous. Absolutely marvellous. You could eat it just like this, I reckon. Anyway, see, one of these little bits like that. There's a lot of juice and stuff in there. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to chuck it in with the rest of it. So all we're doing is chopping this down into bite-sized pieces. And your bite-sized pieces are going to be probably different to my bite-sized pieces. So you just need to figure it out for yourself how much you want to cut it. So I'm sort of going one, well, the smaller ones, so I get 3 bits, and I'm going to chop that in half. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. 3 from those little bits, and probably 4 out of the bigger bits. And you can see it's actually cooked all the way through. That's good. But even if it was a little bit uncooked, it doesn't really matter, because we're going to simmer it for a good 15 minutes. So see that bigger piece? I got 4 bits out of it. 1, 2, 3 and 4. I might even get 5 out of that. I don't know. Okay, so that's it. That's all I've done. Just cut it up in bite-sized pieces, as you can see. As soon as that comes up to temperature, got about a minute to go, I'm going to put that in. Okay. So now we've got it up to temperature, I'm just going to add a few more things. So just the red chili flakes. This is more for looks, I guess. They're not that hot. Okay, so don't fret. Another thing is I've just chopped up some of that coriander. About 2 tablespoons, you know, whatever. So obviously coriander's got a very aromatic taste. You know, they love it or they hate it. I'm not a big fan of it, but in this sort of thing it's not too bad, because this is going to boil it down a bit, you know, reduce that sort of acidic sort of flavour it's got. So, and again, it just has a bit of colour. Now, if you wanted to, you don't like coriander, you could add flat leaf parsley. I mean, it gives you the same look. It almost looks identical, actually, but it's a much more milder taste. So again, it comes down to your choice. Right, yeah, that's good. So I'm just going to add my chicken pieces now. So we just want all the chicken completely covered in the sauce. And as I said, I've got it on a very low heat. All we're doing now really is heating up that chicken, because if we let it go cold so we could cut it, right? So really all we're doing is heating it up. That's what the process is here. So for that reason, I like to do that slowly. So that's going to take about 15 minutes or so. But in the meantime, I'm going to use that time to make my rice. So, see you soon. Okay, so we're finished. Plated up. Just some rice with the chicken tikka masala. Put a little bit of coriander on top just for looks. And a wedge of lime, which I'll squeeze over just before I eat it. Now, just to let you know what I did, I had to put the lid on for a little bit just to get it up to heat, and then I took the lid off. So I probably did it for about 20 minutes, because what I like to do is what I call a spoon test. I use a spoon to see if I can break up easily the chicken or whatever meat I'm doing, and as you can see it does, breaks up beautifully. Which to me, that's how I like it. Okay, so it's done. Because I had the lid on, the sauce is a little bit thinner than what I wanted it. I'd rather a little bit thicker, but look, I'm hungry, I want to eat. So I've done it like that, it's fine. So that's basically it. Now just remember, if you're cooking this, you're the master of how hot it's going to be. This, for me, is perfect. It's a little bit of a bite, a little bit of a punch in the mouth, but it's not burning. You know, I'm not going to end up on the toilet for the next 2 nights. It's just right for me. But all you have to do is adjust those spices to your taste, and that's just something you've got to work out for yourself. Again, those spices, there's a lot of them in there, and if you're doing this from scratch, yeah, well, you've got to buy a lot of stuff in. But I have all those spices in my rack all the time, because I use them in many different recipes, not that combination, but different combinations. So it's rare these days that I need to buy a spice to do a recipe. right? So it's worthwhile doing. I have been trying this as I've been cooking it to make sure it's seasoned correctly. I did season it too, one more time before when it was heating up, that last 20 minutes, I did season it with salt and pepper. It tastes fabulous, it really does. And I know, you know, it's my dish, whatever, but it tastes fabulous, it really does. If you like a curry, you'll love this. If you've never tried a curry, I think you'll really enjoy it. So be a bit adventurous, try something different, and chicken tikka masala I think is a really good introductory to not only cooking curries but trying different curries. Okay, anyway, that's it. Oh, and I've got some naan bread. I bought it from the shop. All I've got to do is heat it up in the oven. You don't really need to see how I do that, just read the packet. That's in the oven right now, it's just about ready. So I love having naan bread, garlic naan bread with this. Just makes it a perfect meal. Anyway, that's it. Let me know how you get on. See ya.